Hey HSM, Sarah here. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Now, we've all heard the term the GOAT. Do you remember when you first heard it, what athlete they were talking about when you heard GOAT for the first time? I feel like I first heard the term maybe about 7 years ago, and it was in regards to Tom Brady when he played for the Patriots. Now it's even evolved to talking about anything as the GOAT. Restaurants, brands, and more. People even say something like goated, like In-N-Out is goated. The best part of the whole GOAT thing is the debates, right? There are heated debates as to who is the GOAT for each sport. Let's think about it. For soccer or football, it's either Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, and that is a heated debate. Or for the ladies, it would be Mia Hamm or Abby Wambach. Two GOATs for sure. For basketball, oh my gosh, this one gets super heated, right? It's Kobe or LeBron or Michael Jordan. I mean, I just love Kobe, RIP, so just check out this clip.
Kobe Bryant!
Another legend of the past versus modern excellence would be the debate of who's the GOAT for football, right? Is it Tom Brady or is it the old school GOAT, Joe Montana? For hockey, I could only think of one GOAT. I thought Wayne Gretzky, but Nathan said somebody called Gordie Howe. I have no idea who that is. Or for baseball, it's a lot harder because baseball has changed so much throughout the years. Like some people would say the GOAT was Babe Ruth. His batting average was .690. Or maybe it's modern Shohei Ohtani. Boxing, is it Muhammad Ali or is it Floyd Mayweather? For pickleball, I'm just kidding. No one should care enough about pickleball to debate who is the GOAT. But for tennis, that's a different question. Is it Federer or is it Nadal or is it Djokovic? But most important GOAT in tennis is the undoubtable GOAT, Serena Williams.
Wow.
And lastly, she's called the GOAT. The GOAT was on literally her leotard for her gymnastics, Simone Biles. You may have opinions about these players and even debate this topic, but when you really boil down the GOAT topic, the truth is that we look to the GOATs to see how to do our sport the best. How to score with a bicycle kick, how to drain a three, how to throw a Hail Mary, crush a slap shot, hit a home run, punch a knockout, or serve an ace. The GOATs are the people we want to learn from. The people we want to learn the ins and outs of how they lived, practiced, and prepared so we too can be great. Now, I wonder if we switched out the world of sports into different fields, would we be able to identify the GOATs? For cooking, is it Julia Child or Gordon Ramsay? For science, is it Newton or Mary Curie? For serving, I mean, you could say Mother Teresa, but there's no way, right? You all knew we were gonna get here at some point. The GOAT of serving is Jesus. Jesus is the GOAT when it comes to serving. He's the most consistent, he's the most sacrificial, he is the best at knowing and meeting people's needs. He served crazy crowds and forgotten individuals. He served in simple, humane ways like washing feet, in miraculous ways like feeding the 5,000. He always showed up in the right time in people's lives, and he always left people better off than how he found them. He made those cast out due to gender, race, financial standing, and disability and disease feel seen, supported, and loved. Jesus is the GOAT because he didn't see the world in the way that culture saw it. In a world that said your personal wealth, status, and happiness was most important, he said something entirely different through a symbolic story in Matthew 20 that he sums up with the bold statement, listen to this, so the last will be first, and the first will be last. He flipped everything upside down. Jesus flipped over power dynamics and honored those who served. He wanted the people around him to stop thinking about themselves and prioritize thinking of others. Later in Matthew 20, there's another story about this. When a mom is pleading her son's cases that they should sit in the honored spots on the right and left of Jesus. She said, "Grant that one of these two sons of mine may sit at your right and the other on your left in your kingdom," in Matthew 20:21. Pause. These are grown men whose mom is asking their friend if they can sit together on the bus. Okay, it was a little bit more significant than that, But when I read it, it's still embarrassing. Also, we should maybe ask the question, who are these sons? In the story, they're called the sons of Zebedee. But who are they and what does that mean? Get this, the sons of Zebedee are actually two of Jesus' 12 disciples. Their names were James and John. They were people who had trained with the goat, seen him do his thing, and still had it all wrong. Their request showed that they were confident in his heavenly kingdom, but also showed incredible ignorance, that they still expected a kingdom with worldly values, pride, and power, when all Jesus taught them was about otherness and self-sacrifice. They asked for honor only, and thus in their minds, they had to sit next to Christ and above everybody else. So let's see what Jesus said to their request. We'll continue reading in Matthew 20, verses 24 through 28. It says, when the 10 other disciples heard what James and John had asked, they were indignant, aka displeased, offended, insulted. Remember, these are the 12 that are trained by the goat, and they just listened to that request, right? Verse 25, but Jesus called them together and said, you know that the rulers in this world lord it over their people, and officials flaunt their authority over those under them. But among you, it will be different. Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first among you must become your slave. For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and give his life as a ransom for many. Boom. Mic drop. The ultimate goat speech. He said, but among you, it will be different. That literally gives me chills. Among who? Among his disciples, it will be different. Listen, Jesus was more powerful than any ruler. Jesus had more authority than anyone else. And yet, he did not come to be served, but to serve others. Guess what? If you have a relationship with Jesus, you are a disciple of his. The definition of disciple is literally any professed follower of Christ. So let's go back. Let's read his goat speech with that in mind. Let's read it like it was, in fact, written to you, to us. Let's read it again. It says, but among you, it will be different. Whoever wants to be a leader among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first among you must become your slave. Servant, slave. Why do you think he uses such strong metaphors here? I think it's to make his point crystal clear. He's turning everything upside down. He's showing that the correct way to live is opposite of what culture says. No one in their right mind would want to be a servant or a slave, but Jesus did. He knows that living his life serving others is the best way to live, and he's encouraging us to do the same. You can live like the goat when you grab hold of his truths. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. You can live in the way the goat lived and be great by dedicating your life fully and humbly to serving. And I can guarantee to you that it's worth it. I started serving consistently in junior high, and I've never regretted spending time serving others. Some of my best memories growing up are from different serving opportunities. And serving has always brought me purpose, joy, and community. And I know it can bring that to your life too. So let me ask, what would it look like if we all truly committed to the upside down values of the GOAT? What would it look like to commit to serving like Jesus? Think of the collective impact we can all make together as HSM in our ministry, our church, and our community. Let's talk more about this in our small group time.